Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you my dress for the Little Red Dress project. This year's theme for the Little Red Dress project was to make a dress inspired by a celebrity dress or one from the movies, and I immediately knew which one I wanted to do. For a very, very long time now, Elie Saab has been my favorite designer, and I had saved this dress from a couple seasons ago that he made that was velvet, and it had a gored skirt, and it had this wide open neckline, and I knew that I wanted to make that in a dark red colored velvet, and that's what I did. I of course didn't make the full-length gown because that would be a little ridiculous, so what I did was I took it and I made it more casual. I shortened the dress, I eliminated the underskirt that the dress had. It had like a chiffon underskirt originally. I shortened the sleeves because the original sleeves were floor-length sleeves, and so I shortened them to be elbow length. I added little flounces on the ends, and overall I am really happy with this dress. I did take some haute couture elements in sewing this dress. The first one that I did was to make a corselet to wear underneath the dress. And what a corselet is just a tight-fitting bodice that goes underneath the main dress, and it helps support a strapless or a wide scoop neck dress like this, since you don't necessarily have the support of your shoulders hiking the dress up, holding up the low neckline. So I made the corselet pattern following McCall's M7615, which is actually a pattern for a ballet costume. And I picked it because it was princess themed, it had multiple panels, and it was made for boning. And so I knew it would be tight fitting, which I needed it to have a lot of panels for boning and shaping. And so I first made that corselet out of a twill that I got from fabric.com, and I boned it with plastic zip ties because that's my favorite kind of easy, cheap type of boning. The corselet zips up the back, and then once I was done with the corselet, I made the dress. The dress is made with a wine color velvet from Fabric Wholesale Direct, and I did not use a pattern for the dress, I simply self-drafted it. The skirt itself was really easy to draft because it's just a gored skirt, which is basically math. You take your waist measurement, you take your hip measurement, the distance between the two, and you kind of extrapolate out. And I made 10 panels to match the original dress. And while I am happy and I drafted it perfectly, I'm actually not really happy with how it came out. With a floor-length gored skirt, you wind up with a ton of volume at the bottom, but this gored skirt being knee-length, I'm not happy with the amount of volume that it has. I wish that I had added more volume, made the gores wider from the beginning, or perhaps made the gores wide enough even to pleat. Although I do like a smooth waist typically. So I'm not super happy with that, but it does look alright in the end. I just think that it kind of highlights some of the flaws in my hips due to scoliosis. So I wish that the skirt was a little fuller. Since this is a stretch velvet, the top was really easy to draft, and the hard part though was the sleeves. I used the plantain pattern and kind of tried to hack off the top in order to get a very open wide neck sleeve like this. And it worked okay, but I wound up having a lot of extra fabric that I just couldn't get rid of. So in the end, I used some clear elastic to help me hold the shoulder of the sleeve on, which is then covered up by the crisscrossing bands. Aside from the shoulders though, I absolutely love the sleeves. I have this beautiful ruching detail, which was one of my favorite parts about the original inspiration. And to do this ruching, I simply sewed some clear elastic into the sleeve, and while I was sewing it, I stretched it really, really hard, and then in the end, it ruched it all up, and it looks perfect. Then I added some flounces on the end, and these are just circles. I took the measurement of my sleeve, drafted a circle, how long I wanted it to be, drafted another circle, and cut that out of the velvet. So the nap does switch on the sleeves while everything else on the dress has the correct nap, but I'm very happy with them. I think they look so fun and festive. This is like as far as I'll go into the hashtag year of the sleeve because I'm not usually like a crazy sleeve person, but I love these sleeves. The one thing that I had hoped to do was to add the trim that the original dress has, and I simply didn't have the time to add the trim. I ran into some upsets and I'm still traveling a lot, so I didn't really have the time to hand sew on all that trim, but I think it works out because since the dress is reliant on stretch for me to get in and out of it, it'd be kind of hard to have the trim in certain areas. Speaking of that, the way that I get into this dress, because the dress has no openings or closings on it, but it does have a very tight-fitting woven corselet underneath. So basically the corselet has a fully unzippable zip. I put the dress on over my head, and then I kind of reach up the back of the skirt, zip up the corselet, and then kind of wiggle the rest of the dress down. It's overall really comfortable to wear. I mean, the corselet is tight, but it makes me feel secure in the knowledge that the dress isn't going to fall down or fall off my shoulders, so I do really like that. And overall, I'm very happy with my interpretation of this Elie Saab dress. I'm going to put up some pictures now of the inside workings of the dress. I used a festive candy stripe bias tape for all of my casings and for the facings because I knew that I wanted to do something fun to really show that this was a Christmas dress. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope that you guys liked this video and you liked this dress. If you'd like to see more like this, make sure that you subscribe to MsJennMakes. Also, go check out Rebecca's little red dress video, which I'm going to link right here. Make sure that you also follow me on Instagram. I'm MsJennMakes on Instagram, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful holiday season.